Also be made publicly available on Council's website. Those in attendance should refrain from making defamatory statements. Let us acknowledge the Wiradjuri people, their elders past and present, traditional custodians of the land we now share. Let us be inspired by the resilience, innovation and perseverance of past generations. Let us honour those who protect this great land, and may you draw strength from your God or faith so that we may here today, on behalf of our community, build a vibrant future together. Okay, off we go. Any apologies this evening? Manager?
Through you, Mr. Mayor, all councillors are in attendance. Just note the apology of the Director of Technical Services,
Right.
Ray Sexton, and the Acting Director of Technical Services, Paul Glennon, is in attendance.
Welcome along. Well, thanks. Okay, are there any disclosures of interest this evening, councillors? Councillor Minogue?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Mayor. Agenda item 6.13, the Access Incentive Scheme grant, which the Bum-Edmund Community Centre Incorporated have applied for. I'm a community volunteer for this group, and further, my husband as chair actually submitted the application. Therefore, I will actually declare a significant non-pecuniary conflict of interest and remove myself.
Thanks, Councillor Minogue. General Manager, would just like to make a note of that.
We will, Mr. Mayor. I think there are further ones, Mr. Mayor.
Councillor Brooks.
Agenda item 6.5, exercise of lease renewal option for 180 to 184 Main Street. I do note that we're just noting tonight, however, I will still declare a pecuniary conflict of interest. My daughter has a part-time job.
Very good.
Sorry.
Thanks, Councillor Brooks. Okay.
Through you, Mr. Mayor. I'll declare a pecuniary conflict of interest in the same item, 6.5, being that my daughter is an employee of the current tenant.
We've got three of them. Very good. Okay. Must be good employers.
Yeah.
Okay, disclosure of interest. Do I need to move for those?
Was the third?
No.
Okay, confirmation of the minutes, councillors. The minutes are there.
You're in Holly.
Is there a correction, Mr. Mayor? Mr. General Manager, rather? Was there a correction there to the minutes?
Voted for the virtual attendance. There were 3 virtually, so that has been fixed up.
Right, so with regards to minute number 0107-2026, there was switches with regards to virtual attendance. There was just an amendment to those that were in attendance via audio visual. Cool.
Right. Are there any corrections, other corrections on that, councillors? Any comments you want to make regarding the minutes of the last meeting? If not, I'll need a mover to adopt those. Councillor Minogue, Councillor Brooks, all those in favour? Carried. Move on to reports from staff, section 1, executive services, 6.1, monthly status report, council meeting actions, July 2026. They're all there, councillors. I'd like to have a look through and let me know if there's anything you would like to discuss. Councillor Henderson.
Thank you. Through you, Mr. Mayor. Just a question for Director of Community Services, the customer service request. Any update on the CI Anywhere?
Through you, Mr. Mayor, yes, that project is progressing and we anticipate it will be finalised by the end of this year.
Very good. Anything else, councillors? There's a recommendation there that council receive and note the monthly status report. Council meeting actions, July 2026. Can I have a mover, please? Councillor Henderson, Councillor Brooks. All those in favour? Carried. Move over to 6.2, attendance at the local government New South Wales Annual Conference 2026. The recommendation there that council approve the attendance of the Mayor, General Manager, Councillors Brooks, Pennell and Minogue at the local government New South Wales Annual Conference 2026. Can I have a mover, please? Councillor Crowe, seconded. Councillor McGlynn. Any questions regarding that, councillors? None. I'll put the motion. All those in favour? Aye. Carried. Over to 6.3, Christmas closure arrangements for 2026, 2027. There's a recommendation there that Council 1 note the closure of council offices from 5 p.m. on Friday, the 18th of December 2026, and reopening at 8:30 a.m. on Monday, the 4th of January 2027. And 2, note essential services and emergency response arrangements will remain available throughout the closure period. 3, that the Mayor and the General Manager be delegated authority to deal with any urgent matters arising during the Christmas and New Year period. Have a mover, please. Councillor Carnegie, Councillor Brooks. Are there any questions regarding that, councillors? Councillor Lord.
I've got a couple of questions. Firstly, I'm concerned that the library will be closed leading up to Christmas, which is, can be quite an interesting time, people gathering materials. And I just ask a question with regard to the outdoor staff and the service people. I'm just wondering if, for example, the outdoor staff have ceased work for that week, would it be more productive to have somebody servicing all that equipment while it's idle?
Would you like to have your first show?
Through you, Mr. Mayor. Well, historically, I don't know, we haven't needed to, I suppose, because we've got a pretty good maintenance program going as it is.
Yeah.
And everyone needs their leave, so it's always worked out pretty well how it is. So,
Yeah, for that, Councillor Lord.
Oh, I'm happy. I'm happy with the response. I would have thought you could have substituted the leave and given the service people after the 4th their week off, because you've got the equipment back in operation.
Okay. Well, obviously, I'd say our director is so well organised that it's it happens every year.
So it's certainly something that could be looked at, but it's just it's a family time of the year. That's all. We try and look after our staff and
they produce better work as a result. Is that right?
we do.
There you go. Are there any other questions, councillors? Councillor Brooks.
Mine isn't a question, it's just more of a statement. Just wanted to note that the Visitor Information Centre will make available visitor bags and monitor supply during the closure period. I think that should be noted, that, they're doing a wonderful job and still caring about the tourism side of things over the closure. So well done to those staff members that will be doing that.
Great comment. Any further comments, councillors? If not, Mr.
That's
Gentleman.
right. No, please.
If not, I'll put the motion. All those in favour? I declare it carried.
I was just remiss, we should have mentioned that Health and Regulatory Services with us virtually.
I've just been told by the General Manager that we have the Manager of Development Services, Erin Green, online. Welcome, Erin. Okay, very good.
Evening all.
Thank you for attending. Okay, so we move over to 6.4, the Visitor Economy and Growth Committee. The recommendation there that Council 1 receive and note the minutes of the Visitor Economy and Growth Committee meeting held on the Tuesday, the 4th of August 2026, and 2, endorse the committee's recommendation to appoint the following businesses as local information points within the Bland Shire. A, the Bar Medman Arts and Crafts Shop, Bar Medman, and 2, JBJ Creative Studios, Ungary. May I have a mover, please? Councillor Brooks and Councillor Henderson, the Bobsey twins. Okay, Councillor Brooks, would you like to speak to it?
No, I don't, thank you.
Councillor Henderson, would you like to speak to it? Would any other councillors like to comment on this? No comments? Okay, well then I'll put the motion. All those in favour?
Aye.
I declare it carried. Well done. Okay. To 6.5, exercise of lease renewal option for 180 to 184 Main Street, West Wyalong. The recommendation there that council receive and note the exercise of lease renewal option for 180 to 184 Main Street, West Wyalong. And there's a report there. Have a mover, please. Councillor Henderson and Councillor McGlynn. Okay, Councillor Henderson, would you like to lead off? No, nothing. Councillor McGlynn, would you like to lead off?
I would. Mine's more of a question than comment. 1 hectare was bought originally as a visitor's information location because it had the car park behind it. It was a very good buy at the time. It was in the middle of the CBD, so that people would, they were right in the main thing, they could go and have a look at all the shops. It was not taken up. However, part of that lease is the big shed at the side of it. Now, if at some stage council wanted to put some sort of interactive display or whatever in there as part of the tourism project, am I allowed to do that under the lease, or what? I'd just like a bit of
That's an
information.
interesting question. Director Belinda, do you want to take that?
Through you, Mr. Mayor. The current tenants of the property, any potential subleases, they are within their rights to undertake that. If council was of a mind to pursue that option, it would be a matter of writing to the leaseholders and making a request to do that. My understanding is that that particular part of the building is currently used as the general cooking.
Oh, cooking?
Yep.
It's a shed.
It's been, it is set up
Okay.
appropriately.
Very good.
Thank
Are there any further questions, councillors, regarding this? Councillor Lord.
Just a question with regard to the, happy to have the lease going on, but is the property now currently surplus to our needs? And effectively, should we look at offering it for sale rather than lease?
Well, that's an option. Director Belinda, do you want to go again?
Always. That would be a matter for council, and if council was of a mind to provide a notice of motion or seek further advice in relation to that, I'm sure that that's something that could happen, but at this point in time, it's not been considered surplus to our needs, and we have a revenue stream coming from the lease.
Very good. You happy with that, councillor Lord?
Yeah.
Very good. Are there any further questions, councillor? If not, I'll put the motion. All those in favour? Declare it carried. Move over to section 2, corporate and community services, 6.6, the finance and investment report for July 2026. There's a recommendation there that council, 1, receive and note the information contained within the finance and investment report for the month of July 2026, and 2, confirms the payment of accounts for the period 1 July to 31 July 2026, totaling $4,385,837.54. May I have a mover, please? Councillor Henderson. Seconder, Councillor Minogue. Councillor Henderson, did you want to say anything? Councillor Minogue, would you like to say something? Would anyone else like to say anything? If not, I'll put the motion. All those in favour? Declare it carried. We'll move over to .7. Revised legislative compliance policy. There's a recommendation there that Council 1 endorse the revised legislative compliance policy to be placed on public exhibition for a period of 28 days, commencing the 21st of August 2026, in accordance with the legislative requirements of the Local Government Act 1993. 2, should any submissions be received that propose changes, or if there are any substantial post-public exhibition changes for any other reasons, a report be submitted to Council for consideration detailing the public exhibition outcomes and with further recommendations regarding adoption. 3, should there be no submissions received proposing changes as a result of the public exhibition, or there are no substantial post-public exhibition changes proposed for any other reasons, the legislative compliance policy be considered formally adopted. Can I have a mover, please? Councillor Lord and Councillor Fennell. Councillor Lord, did you want to speak to this?
It's basically a legislative requirement. I've quickly looked at it and doesn't seem to be any significant changes from
Straightforward.
before.
Councillor Fennell. Yeah, Councillor Minogue.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'm just wondering if this policy will be circulated to the ARIC committee when we recently confirmed the terms of reference for ARIC, this policy is probably something that ARIC should review as well.
General Manager?
Through you, Mr Mayor, yes, it will be organised to circulate through the ARIC.
Very good. Happy with that, Councillor Minogue?
Yes, thank you.
Good. If there's no further comments, I'll put the motion. All those in favour? Carried. We'll move over to 6.8. Consultation process for local public holidays and local event days for 2027 and 2028. There's a recommendation there that council undertake a community engagement process to support an application on behalf of the community for a part-day public holiday to coincide with the annual West Wyalong show. Can I have a mover, please? Councillor Pennell, Councillor McLean. Councillor Pennell.
I think I've commented on this in the past few years. It's just come before us, Mr Mayor, and I fully support this.
Councillor McLean. Any comments from any other councillors? If there are none, I'll put the motion. All those in favour? Carried. We'll move over to 6.9. Okay. 6.9 endorsement of motions for local government New South Wales Conference 2026. There's a recommendation that Shire Council submits the following notices of motions for consideration at the local government New South Wales Conference scheduled for the 22nd to the 24th November 2026. Can I have a mover for this, please? Councillor Minogue, Councillor Brooks. Now, how do I go about it?
Yeah.
Proposing an amendment, Mr Mayor.
I'm proposing that we add something to this, to the motions on the mapping issue. And I'm proposing that we, the formation of a committee made up of rural representatives and government representatives and a lawyer to provide oversight and review. And there's a similar committee already operating in Queensland successfully. And I propose a 50-50 split of rural representatives and government representatives.
I'll second that.
I'll put the amended motion. All those in favour?
Sorry, it's
Yeah.
What's that?
You should check with the
Mm.
mover.
Oh, okay, well-
To adopt it.
Are you happy the movement seconded to adopt that change?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, you've got them.
Nogam Brooks.
Want to read it again?
Yes, please.
Okay. The formation of a committee made up of rural representatives and government representatives and a lawyer to provide oversight and review if required. And I just noted that there's a similar committee in Queensland already operating successfully.
It's a bit hard on the
Could I
run to.
Could I move that this therefore, because there's a change and an addition, lay on the table because it's not urgent, it doesn't need to be moved and passed until the September meeting? So we can have
You want to move that way?
information and look at that?
Sorry, can we just check that that's okay first?
We can.
Sorry, through you, Ms Mead. Yes, it can lay on the table. However, the later council submits its motions, the further back in the agenda they will
It'll be.
appear. And as we have previous conferences, quite often there are motions that are submitted by councils that aren't even debated at the conference because they are too far down the agenda.
So then a committee makes a determination. Yeah.
So could you just elaborate on what you think the benefits of this?
Well, at the moment, our motion doesn't really change a lot. And the big problem is that the rural people at the moment don't have any say in the way this mapping is being developed and put in place. And this may give them some opportunity to do that and have some input. It also allows for a review process that they currently don't have. At the moment, it's just the state government dictating terms. And this would allow the public to have some input and a chance for a review. which they currently don't have. And they've been struggling through this process with no way to get through. I think it would just give the motion teeth. Councillor, Councillor, Councillor Brooks, I'll come back to you.
Wouldn't point number 3 address?
Doesn't quite do it. Have a look at it. Yeah. Councillor Brooks?
I'm just trying to think logistically. Just if you're going to put that in there, then when, where, I'm just trying to have a quick read while I'm doing it. But
We can defer it if you like.
Changes,
No, nothing's going to put it.
changes the concept.
It doesn't really. It gives it teeth, Councillor Lloyd. It gives them something that they currently don't have. The rest of the motion doesn't really change anything. Councillor Carnegie.
Yeah, Mr. Mayor. I'm in agreement with the Mayor on this one. This has been running for near 3 years now, and the basis of the amendment that the Mayor is putting forward is extremely valid, because there are review processes available to the landowners, landholders, but they're very opaque. They take a long period of time, and it would appear that the state government is using that tool to draw that process out to, suppress the opposition to the way the mapping's being rolled out, and there's no viable and efficient mechanism for that review process to occur.
Mr. Mayor,
Councillor Glenn.
I'd like to support your motion because it gives the participants, they're the vital people in this, not us. It gives them a say that they don't have now. And I cannot understand what anyone here would object to that. And if it's just going to defer it back for another month, if this is what happens, that we get down the bottom of the list, I want to, we're as a council involved in this. If we lose rates or whatever, and if this is working in Queensland, I can't see why anyone would object to it. To give in the landholders, the most vital people in it, a say. They're the people affected, not us.
Councillor Brooks. I'll come back to you, Councillor.
sorry, no, actually, you go first.
Councillor Brooks, just so you get Councillor Maker have say.
I just, first of all, no one's objecting to it. I'm
You just want
certainly not
time to
objecting.
consider it.
I'm just trying to process it and figure out where it would fit. Now, just on the hop here, obviously this is the first I've heard of it. Under dot point number 3, it's saying establishing a clear, timely and low cost review and appeal process. Would you add in there that
You could.
into
could.
that and that kind of,
And then add straight in formation of a committee made up of rural representatives and government.
yeah, for landholders and councils where mapping is disputed or evidence indicates it is inaccurate. As I said, I'm not disputing this. I'm just trying to make sure that it is correct for what we're trying to achieve. And
It'll
it's
have to be
correct.
redrafted anyway.
I'd agree with that.
Yeah. So I think if we were going to put it somewhere, that's where I would put it.
Director
But I'm
William?
going to leave it over to Councillor Minogue.
I'd put it at the top.
Just give a comment
Sorry.
first of all, and I'll come back to this.
Through you, Mr. Mayor, I've just drafted a slight amendment to your suggestion, is that further that local government New South Wales call on the New South Wales government to establish an oversight committee consisting of equal representation of both rural and government officers, supported by a lawyer, to progress the review.
It'll be number 1, dot point.
Councillor Minogue.
I'm happier with that wording. I don't wish to delay this motion being submitted because of the importance, but at the same time, understanding the legislation that is behind the reviews that actually has to happen. I don't know that the original amendment would actually carry enough weight. I'm happier with the
Addition
the amendment that that Director Belind.
put forward. Okay, that's fine.
Right.
I'm happy to have that, that change to that. It is just that this particular situation, at the moment, the government has all the cards, and the rural representatives who are very adversely affected by the decisions that have been made so far haven't had much of a say in the process. And I'd like them to have some sort of say in the process. These are only recommendations that we'll make to the conference that'll go to the state government, and they don't have to necessarily adopt them. However, if we're talking about it, and you'll see other councils have the opportunity to have a look at this and see that rural people will have a chance to have a say on this issue, I think they'll be supportive of it, and that will carry weight to the state government. But the other things that we had, I think we just needed something where we actually stated that we need rural people on that committee. Without that, they can have a committee and make it up public servants, and you'll be exactly where you are now. So where do we go from here? We got an amended
Through you,
motion.
Mr. Mayor, if the mover and seconder of
Are
the
happy with
original
the
motion are
amended
happy with
motion?
the proposed amendment, you can simply
Happy
vote
with
on it.
Alison's words?
You read it again, please.
Further, that local government New South Wales calls on the New South Wales government to establish an oversight committee consisting of equal representation from both rural and government sectors, to be supported by a lawyer to progress the review as a matter of urgency.
Well, I think it's not only the review of mapping, it's actually oversight for any further decisions. It's both. You need to state oversight of further decisions, because you need a body that can look at not only the problem that we've got now, but problems that we will have in the future, and be sure there'll be more to come.
You, Mr. Mayor, may I make a comment? I believe that this motion is so important that it should top the list. It's the first time that it's giving landholders a potential to have a say. And this is vitally important. That's what we're here for.
Councillor Manogue?
Just in relation to the farmers having a say, we were successful at the New South Wales Farmers Conference to make such a noise from this particular area that the Minister, Penny Sharp, has actually put an exclusion zone around Temora West Wyalong area. Part of my reluctance changing this motion too much is around we have the potential to get something changed, and I don't wish to jeopardise the situation.
Look, I mean, I understand. I understand your point, and I think your point has some validity. But what we've seen so far, all the existing bodies have been in a position to support this and change these things already, and we have seen nothing from them. And I don't know who's going to sit on the committee for New South Wales farmers. I don't know what's going to
It's
happen.
got nothing to do with
I
council.
want an exclusive body to look at these issues.
Sorry, the New South Wales farmers won't have anybody on the fact that Bland and Temora have been carved out from the declaration that comes into force at the end of this month. So New South Wales farmers won't have anything to do with it. New South Wales farmers, I mentioned, it's because it was that body that has actually got Penny Sharp, Minister Penny Sharp, to listen specifically to the farmers in this district. So my reluctance is based around not wanting to jeopardise the case for the farmers in this district.
Look,
Totally agree. Yeah.
I don't think this jeopardise that. I think they're two separate issues. I think she's already dealt with that. This deals with the issue on an ongoing basis. That's an issue about the Bland Shire and Temora. I think this is a larger issue there's going to be a lot of this, with the conservation stuff that's being pushed forward. There's going to be a lot more of this sort of stuff. And we need some sort of body in New South Wales made up of rural representatives that can represent our farmers and our interests.
So yeah, Mr Mayor, this is a local, we're representing local government. The New South Wales farmers are doing a great thing. That's fantastic. That's got nothing to do with Shire.
No.
We are representing it at a Shires Association, our interests and what we put. That's fantastic what they're doing. I would never, but this is a separate issue.
I agree. So anyway, look, have we got some words there? Would you like to read the motion again, Director Bulling?
Again, through you, Mr Mayor. Further, that local government New South Wales calls on the New South Wales government to establish an oversight committee consisting of equal representation from both rural and government sectors, supported by a lawyer, to progress the review as a matter of urgency.
Is that number 7 or is it going after number?
No, it's going to go in after 3, is it? Is it going to go in after 3?
I think it should be number 1. It's all important.
Potentially go in as
Item number 3, couldn't? Could you alter item 3? Put in there.
do that. So instead of having put it in as A.
Mr Mayor, may I just add?
May, Councillor Fennell.
I think what we're proposing here and what you're proposing and what the director is trying to word in there, I see it as protecting us into the future. You know, I mean, okay, we're dealing with the pink mapping and that, you know, exactly now, but this is protecting us into the future. And I'm with you and a number of the other councillors. We need representation from, we've always said we need representation from over the Blue Mountains and from the bush and from the country. I think this is an ideal time to do it. I fully agree with what you were suggesting there, Mayor.
Councillor Brooks.
If this gets up and going, the next step is obviously to create this committee. Who chooses who's on it?
I think.
Oh, well, that's an entirely different thing. So you'd have, you know, you probably, I'd say, have a discussion with rural groups. It could be made up of some people from the New South Wales farmers. It could be made up from a group from the national farmers groups. It could be made up of rural people in affected areas. There'd be a number of people you could appoint to this committee. In the New South Wales government, that would be entirely up to them.
But so this is obviously.
This is a suggestion.
I'm just trying to foresee any problems in the future. It depends on who's choosing it. I mean, if it's up to Minister Penny Sharp or someone from her division, she could pick and choose who she wants. Is that going to be the true and correct way to choose a committee?
Well, at least you've got rural representatives. At the moment, we've got nothing. Public servants make all decisions, and conservationists and public servants are currently making all decisions. And the rural people that have protested this have had no say. They've just been told to walk away and tolerate what's going on and have been fined as part of the process. That's what's happened.
I understand what's happened. I'm just trying to wrap my head around the logistics of it. You put together this committee and...
We're not putting together a committee, you're suggesting to the state government.
Okay, so whoever puts together the committee, how do they choose how many representatives from what affected areas? They may choose not to have any from Bland or any other, you know, local Temora or any other locally affected areas, which then would mean that they're not going to throw as much weight behind the whole pink mapping issue. They may choose to get some from other regions. I'm just throwing this out there. If we're going to do this, we need to do this right. My other concern is if you're creating another committee, and a lot of them are going to be farmers, obviously, are they taking weight away from the New South Wales Farmers Association, who seems to already be making some progress?
But I think it's a separate issue altogether. Councillor Lord.
Can I just say something? I think we're debating an issue that is further down the track.
That's right.
That at this stage, we are putting a motion to the local government and New South Wales for it to become part of their policy to lobby for this. We are not creating anything at all. We're actually asking local government New South Wales to actually lobby on behalf of us and to put it on a major item as an agenda.
It's fine.
The latter part of that, Councillor.
Sorry.
Look, where we're at with the motion now, are the mover of the motion, Lisa Minogue, Councillor Minogue and Councillor Brooks, happy to have this included in this motion?
It's been moved to point one.
It's been moved to dot point one. Are you happy with that? You have to be happy with that. Otherwise, we have to put another motion through.
I'm going to leave that up to Councillor Minogue. She is definitely more across this than what I am. Sorry.
I'm happy for it to go ahead. Sorry. It doesn't need to be as item one, I think. The other points
Right.
are equally.
I don't mind where it goes.
Yeah.
I don't mind where it goes. It's all included.
So if the mover and second are happy with that as
Put the motion.
then it just becomes the motion.
Okay, if you're both happy with that and you're happy with that, Councillor Brooks, we'll put the motion. All those in favour? Aye. Carried. Councillor Minogue, yes?
So on the presumption that our motion is accepted for conference and it's debated, can I request that an action arising from that would be that we actually contact all councils and lobby for their support, given that we know the disparity of votes at annual conference are against regional councils?
Well, it's true. You know, the metropolitan councils do have the big advantage of the local government New South Wales conference. But I think that anything that's going to affect any sector in a large way, as this has, I think you'd be surprised at the amount of what you get in the metropolitan areas as well. Councillor No.
Against that, at the executive certificate training course that Councillor Henderson and I completed, we spoke at length about this, and they
Suggested lobbying.
largely city-based councils, they initially couldn't see what the problem was when I explained the disparity in the voting and how regional rural councils are disadvantaged at local government New South Wales conference. They also agreed that it would be something that would be valuable.
We could do that. We could draft a letter and explain the situation, explain the motion, and send it to all the appropriate councils. Okay, we could do that. Director William?
A chance to get that.
Okay, that might give us a chance. Right, yes, Councillor Henderson.
Through you, Mr. Mayor, yes, I'll just second what Councillor Minogue said was actually discussed at length with metropolitan councils and agreed that it would be beneficial for them to be educated.
Understand the motion.
The actual conference.
Very good.
And was recommendation from LG New South Wales.
Very good. Okay, we'll move on. 6.10, the Audit Risk and Improvement Committee. There's a recommendation there that in accordance with the mandatory guidelines on risk management and internal audit for New South Wales local councils, Council receives and notes the minutes of the Shire Council Audit Risk and Improvement meeting on the 3rd of June 2026. Can I have a mover, please? Councillor Minogue, seconded. Councillor Lord. This is meet for discussion. There is. Councillor Minogue.
I just wish to note the impact that we've got a relatively new ARIC chair, and we have a new coordinator of internal audit, governance and risk. And I just want to note both of their observations on how we can improve our ARIC, and they're noted in the minutes that are provided.
Very good. Councillor Lord. If there's no further comments from councillors, I'll put the motion. All those in favour? Declare it carried. Move on to 6.11, Shire Children's Services Unit on page 61. Okay, that's just the report. The recommendation that council receive and note the information contained within the Children's Services report. Can I have a mover for that, please? Councillor Brooks, Councillor Fennell. Councillor Brooks, did you want to comment on this?
No.
Councillor Fennell, do you want to comment on this? I'll put the motion. All those in favour?
Aye.
Carried. Move on to 6.12, the Community Development Services report. The recommendation that council receive and note the information contained within the Community Development and Services report. Can I have a mover and a seconder for this, please? Councillor Brooks, Councillor Fennell. Any comments, councillors? If not, I'll put the motion. All those in favour? I declare it carried. Move on to 6.13, Technical Services. Access Incentive Scheme Grant 44, Queen Street, Barmedman, on page 70. I noted that Councillor Minogue has left the room.
Mr. Mayor.
We need a mover and a seconder for that. We do.
What for the motion?
Just
Not,
you'll move it.
not to leave. the
Not to
room.
leave.
No.
Okay.
You have
Councillor Glenn, Councillor Lord moved and seconded. The recommendation that council approve the Access Incentive Scheme grant application for Barmedman Community Centre Incorporated at 44 Queen Street, Barmedman for $5,000 to install disability access ramp to increase accessibility to the premises. Right. Did you want to speak to it, Councillor McGlynn?
They've been after this for quite a while, and the access, we've always had a wonderful reputation as a council with our access program, so it's ticks all the boxes.
Very good. Councillor Lord?
Similarly to what Councillor McGlynn has said, they have been waiting for this for some time. It's always been a little bit of a problem in Barmedman because effectively, you know, the general, even at election times, that's usually been utilised for voting. There's no disabled access and effectively have to come through the bowling club. So this is actually a real positive improvement for the whole of the community.
Very good. Good. I'll put the motion. All those in favour? Oh,
Aye.
carried. Let's move on to 6.14, Heritage Assistance Grant. 31 Malley Street, Wyalong. There's a recommendation that council approve the Heritage Assistance Grant application for the Bland District Historical Society at 31 Malley Street, Wyalong for $7,000 to assist with roof replacement and works to the Masonic Pioneer Lodge. Can I have a mover, please? Councillor Lord and Councillor Fennell. Councillor Lord, would you like to speak to this?
Yeah, I think it's a worthwhile project. The fact that the Historical Society has needed space for storage for some many times. They can't actually store all the goods. It leaves them room for their special exhibitions in the shed and the museum and that generally.
Very good.
And as I said, this is the grant maximum amount that is allocated under the guidelines, and I fully support it.
Very good. Councillor Fennell, do you want to speak to it?
It's just something extra, if I may, through you, Mr. Mayor. Just the fact that it is an historical building in itself.
Yeah.
So I think we need to restore that as best we can.
Absolutely. Need to preserve our history. That's right.
Thank
Okay, Councillor Minogue.
Just wondering, given the significance of the building, is there any potential to increase the amount?
No.
Director Blend. You're on.
Through you, Mr. Mayor, I think that the amount that has been allocated is the maximum under the guidelines that council have.
They apply for a further grant? Yeah, okay.
But from a different bucket of money.
Okay.
But the manager of development and regulatory services may be able to provide some more accurate advice.
Erin, would you like to enlighten us, please?
Sure. So obviously we've got our guidelines there, which we base our recommendation off. So yes, they are receiving the maximum. They may in the future apply for another funding, additional funding, but it would have to be through the next round. So there is a limit on applications, which is within the guideline. But yeah, this is what we class as round one. We will be advertising round two later in the year, so there would be opportunity to reapply in the next rounds.
Very good. Thank you. If there's no further comments, I'll put the motion. All those in favour? Aye, declare it carried. Very good. Well done, Councillor. Okay, 6.15. There's a heritage assistance grant for 150 to 152 Main Street, West Wyalong. Information now that council approved the heritage grant assistance application for the West Wyalong Post Office at 150 to 152 Main Street, West Wyalong for 3,500 to assist with the external painting of the building. Can I have a mover, please? Councillor McGlynn, Councillor Minogue. Councillor McGlynn, would you like to speak to it?
Oh, well, it's a great thing to see improvements in the main street, the much used building. It's a very prominent site, so it's a great way to spend our money.
Very good. Councillor Minogue, you want to speak to it? Anyone else like to say anything to that? No. Councillor Henderson.
Thank you, through you, Mr. Mayor. I'm just having a look at the information provided and the colour suggestion. I'd just like to make a comment that I'd like to see it a different colour than the pub next door, so it actually stood out more.
Perhaps give that feedback to the heritage advisor. Can we do that, Director Bullock?
I think
Pages coloured.
Erin.
Oh, Aaron, can we give that feedback to the
Yeah, they look the
to
same.
you, to the heritage advisor regarding the proposed colours for the post office?
So just confirming, it was suggested or recommended not to be the same as the pub next door, so it stood out. Is that?
Yep.
Yeah. So I believe within the attachments and the report provided, so the colour scheme, like, have you referred back to the proposed colour scheme?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. No worries. Yeah, we can note that and pass that on to the heritage advisor, and it can be considered in any agreement. The colour scheme can be reconsidered within the agreement.
Very good.
Yeah.
Very good. There's no further comments. I'll put the motion. All those in favour? Carried. Let's move on to 6.16. DA 2026/0039 intensive livestock agriculture feedlot.
Yeah.
2,800 head seasonal lambs. There's a recommendation there that council approve subject to conditions of consent. DA 2026/0039, commas PAN -605158 intensive livestock agriculture feedlot. 2,800 head seasonal lambs at 244 Charcoal Tank Road, West Wyalong. Lot 29 DP 750633. Can I have a mover, please? Moved Councillor Henderson, seconded Councillor Crowe. Councillor Henderson, speak to it.
Thank you, through you, Mr. Mayor. It is clear that this DA ticks all the boxes. The feedlot is a permissible use in the current zoning, and it has had approval by Transport for New South Wales and relevant associated government agencies. So from a planning point of view, there's no reason not for approval.
Councillor Crowe.
I have no issues with the DA. Thank you.
Okay, are there any further comments from any other councillors regarding this? There are none. I'll put the motion. All those in favour? Well, it's carried. Okay. 6.17. Okay, we've got an updated recommendation. 6.17, page 83. Okay, the recommendation is that Council 1 endorse the updated Land Heritage Strategy 2026-2029 to be placed on public exhibition for a period of 28 days, commencing on the 21st of August 2026, in accordance with the legislative requirements of the Local Government Act 1993. 2, should any submissions be received that proposed changes, or if there's any substantial post-public exhibition changes for any other reasons, a report be submitted to Council for consideration, detailing the public exhibition outcomes with further recommendations regarding the adoption. And 3, should there be no submissions received proposing changes as a result of the public exhibition, or there are no substantial post-public exhibition changes proposed for any other reasons, the updated Land Heritage Strategy for 2026 to 2029 be considered formally adopted. Can I have a mover, please? Councillor Henderson, seconded Councillor Minogue. Councillor Henderson, would you like to speak to it?
Thank you, through you, Mr. Mayor. Obviously, I'm in support of updating the heritage strategy. I'd just like to make comment to the strategy mentioning the Main Street study being 30 years old. Wondering if we'd be able to be provided with that Main Street study as it's referenced in this heritage document. And also on page 87, it references the Vanishing Villages project. If I could ask that councillors get information on what the Vanishing Villages project is
Oh,
or was.
it still exists.
Manager of Technical Services, Erin, would you like to comment on this, please? There's several reports that have been requested. Could we organise to have those reports?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so I can get a copy of the existing Main Street study and circulate that. That's no troubles at all. And to be honest, I'll have to look into it myself regarding the Vanishing Villages project, where that's at and how that would progress.
Okay, but Councillor Flynn, did you want to make
Vanishing, I'm not. The Vanishing Villages project is Vanishing Villages. Yalgogrim was quite a big area. It's not there anymore. Locally, and there are a whole lot of them planned. So it was in capital panels were often put out Alina in these more in these areas to remember that what was there. It was a school and it was this and that.
I think the historical, I mean, for the historical,
Yeah.
it has a book and they've mentioned all those things.
I'm a bit. I know it's going to go up, but I'm a bit loath to approve a strategy that I've had no input into. We've got this here today. What's the difference between a strategy and a plan? I mean, policy.
Councillor McGlynn, I could refer to the director now, or the manager now of Development Services, and she could give us some information regarding any changes to the heritage strategy that have gone through. Would you be happy to hear that now?
Yeah, but one thing before we do that, now we've had a heritage strategy, all right? Now we talked about heritage strategy on the building between Vinnie's and Tats. That's got about as much heritage strategy as that table. We can have all these fancy words, we can put them in policies, but we don't stick to it. So I'm sorry, I'll be interested to hear.
Yeah,
Erin, would
through
like to
you.
give us some comment.
Yeah, through you, Matt. So the strategy, it's to meet the requirements of the New South Wales Heritage Office. So through our guidelines and funding, there's, I suppose, somewhat like a partnership there. So the strategy is guided by the New South Wales Heritage Office. The strategy obviously gives aims and actions that we can work towards. So the points there that you see, or each point, obviously 1 through to 9, they are taken from the guidelines and their aims of the Heritage Office that we obviously address. And the strategy has obviously been updated with the guidance of our heritage advisor, Noel Thomas. And whilst there's been some minor variations, I wouldn't say that it has varied significantly. Our current strategy is from 2014 to 2017, so it is quite outdated. However, I do believe you know, our aim and goal is always to conserve, protect, and you know, enhance our history, our heritage. Yeah.
Councillor McGlynn,
I
I'll come back to Councillor Lloyd.
So what, do we have a heritage policy?
Aaron? I think that's
Um,
directed to you.
Not a heritage policy, no.
We work off this strategy, Erin, as a guideline for all our
Heritage policy.
heritage requirements.
Sorry, could you repeat that? I couldn't hear.
So we work off this heritage strategy. We don't have a policy. We work off this strategy for all our heritage requirements. Do we do that? Is that?
We could explore developing a policy for heritage based on these guidelines. Is that possible, Manager Green?
I'd have to look into it. I can definitely have that conversation with and take guidance from our heritage advisor.
Duplicate.
Councillor Henderson.
Um,
Sorry, Councillor Lloyd. I'll come back.
Can I suggest that we defer this? Obviously, 6.6 says run a Main Street program to review and implement the recommendations of the Main Street study.
Yeah.
We are not aware and have not seen this Main Street study, so being asked to implement the recommendations at this point in time. Yeah, and plus the study's 30 years old, so if we can have a look at this study first and then maybe defer this.
I'll refer back to Director Green, Manager Green.
Yeah.
Is it possible for us to defer this, Erin? Is there any urgency around this?
Well, I believe that what we're asking is to endorse it to go on public exhibition, which will give you the opportunity if if you have any objection or want to put a submission forward or, you require additional information, that would be your opportunity to seek that. And then if there is submissions received, then we would obviously consider that. And I believe we could make, other recommendations before.
Okay.
Sorry.
Coming back to you.
I don't see how we can put something out
I agree.
to public exhibition when we haven't seen it ourselves.
We don't.
We haven't seen this 30-year-old plan, the Main Street plan. So we're asking to put something out on public exhibition when we don't even know what we're putting out. So.
Okay. Just one moment. Councillor Lloyd, you had something to say.
A couple of things. Firstly, I support what Councillor Bena said about the vanishing villages. That was an excellent project. I'm sure the Historical Society has still got heaps of information, particularly on it. And you go to many of these vanishing villages and you can actually, and it should be incorporated and it was incorporated in previous tourist trails effectively, that people could go back and look at where the situation, and most of these vanishing villages have some recognition or a plaque or something for that, and I think it's important. The other part about is the strategy. We, as I said, I think it's positive to have the adoption of a strategy that we're putting into place. We're not committing ourselves to any of those plans at this stage. We're actually looking at it, and that is exactly why these strategies always go up for 28 days or 30 days of public exhibition to an actual have submissions, and effectively that's exactly how we will review all of these. And the thing is to run a Main Street program. The aim is to review and implement the recommendations of the Main Street study. What it says is we've had the last one. The new that means we actually should incorporate a new study, and that's what the strategy is. We're not talking about policies. We're talking about a strategy to develop the heritage and the history of the community.
Okay, very good. Councillor Henderson, you happy with Councillor Lloyd's explanation there?
Through you, Mr. Mayor, no, sorry, I'm not.
I neither.
You're not, and Councillor McGlynn,
No.
would you like to move a motion to defer?
Yeah, I'd like to. Yeah.
Would you second the motion to defer, Councillor McGlynn? So.
I don't want to put anything out for exhibition that I approve of.
What do you want to see?
Supersedes the Main Street strategy.
So what are you talking about?
No, it doesn't. They're different.
Okay, so we have a mover that the motion be deferred. I have a seconder that the motion be deferred. So I'll put that amended motion. All those in favour?
Yeah.
I declare it carried. Okay, so that'll be deferred to a further meeting.
Who's the mover? Who's the mover in second?
The mover is councillor Henderson. The seconder was councillor McGlynn. Okay.
Just to make comment, obviously there's a bit of, if we've got the Main Street revitalisation plan in process as well as a Main Street study, which I don't know who's seen, but I haven't seen. If there's crossover between that, I think we need to look into those first before we go putting anything out of public display.
No, okay, do you want to comment now?
No, Mr.
Okay,
Mayor.
all right, okay, very good. Thank you. So we'll move on to 6.10, adoption of the Bland Shire Council remotely piloted aircraft on page 88. Right, there's recognition that Council 1 endorsed the draft remotely piloted aircraft RPA policy and placed the policy on public exhibition for a period of 28 days. 2, following the public exhibition period, adopt the remotely piloted aircraft RPA policy where no submissions or no substantive submissions are received. 3, where substantive submissions are received, a further report be presented to Council for consideration prior to adoption of the policy. Can I have a mover, please? Councillor Crowe, seconder, Councillor Lord. Councillor Crowe, would you like to speak to it?
Not really. I just think it is a new policy, as I mentioned in the briefing. And it's something that we've definitely got to be looking at because there's gadgets out there.
Issues around it.
There's issues around it.
Yeah, very good.
Gadgets,
Councillor Lord, would you like to speak?
if you want to call them out there.
I was going to say, I don't know a lot about drones, but I think we need a policy to an actual thing.
Yes, exactly. Would anyone else like to speak? Councillor Carnegie.
Yeah, I guess this is actually a really straightforward thing and it's something that needs to be done. Basically, all this policy will do, it's well set out, very simple, covers all that we need to know. But it also, the other thing it does is that it brings council and its operations up to industry standard. So it's a no-brainer.
Very good. There's no further comments. I'll put the motion. All those in favour? I declare it carried. Okay. And now we move on to 6.19, native title claim on page 93. The recommendation there that Council note the notification from the National Native Title Tribunal dated 5th of August 2026, reference NC 2025/004, to give notice of intention to become a party to the native title determination application under native title in brackets Federal Court Regulations 2024, paragraph B, and authorise the General Manager to submit a Form 5 Native Title Act 1993 notice of intention to become a party to an application as identified in notification before the 25th of November 2026. Can I have a mover, please? Councillor Lord and Councillor Brooks. Councillor Lord, do you want to speak to this? I think it's important.
I think this is exceptionally important because we only have one opportunity to an actual fact get on this particular thing and actually work on what is best for basically our Crown land and our Shire land.
We've got a big interest in it.
And everything else because it is essential that we actually do this.
It is. Councillor Brooks. Yeah, you endorse what Councillor Lord said. Any other comments from any other councillors? If there aren't any, I'll put the motion. All those in favour? I declare it carried. Okay, so move over to 6.28, Technical Services Report on page 98. Okay, it's recognised that Council receive and note the Technical Services Report. Can I have a mover, please? Councillor Minogue, seconder, Councillor Crowe. Councillor Minogue, would you like to speak to it?
Need not worry, Acting Director. All I wish to say is from the Barmedman community, they wish to say thank you for the little working bee that was held, which addressed the tree stumps, which were going to be in the road in the park, where the new access will go to the hall. So thank you for that.
all.
The lighting in the pathway, in the path, along the pathway is fantastic.
Yeah, move to that.
And it adds to the security at night and for events that are held. And the graffiti that was quickly cleaned up again. We are very thankful. I also have thanks from following on from the Talimba Community Forum, where the community were very thankful for the efforts and attention from the Shire workers in that community and on the roads. Now, my lasting question is if it's possible to monitor or pay particular attention to the spread of the cactus along the Goldfields Way, particularly given the amount of roadworks that has been going on over the last couple of months. It will be spread far and wide. So just wondering if particular attention could be given to that area.
Very good.
Yeah.
Do you want to reply to that?
Oh, no, only that, sorry, through you, Mr. Mayor. Only that I'll follow that up with the, the appropriate officers, and I'm sure that won't get an
Won't
issue.
be a problem. We're going to have the comments regarding the technical services report. If there are any, I'll put the motion. All those in favour? Carried. Okay, reports of committees are there. There's Rock. What we got there? A good note in the REROC report that thanks were given to Councillor John Seymour and Julie Briggs for their advocacy regarding the RFS assets being taken on board by state government. But there was no mention of the advocacy from Shire and Director Belind. Director Belind, the real reason that this process went through was because our director applied for a GIPA to access records regarding this and present us with a report that we presented. We were the first speakers at Local Government New South Wales Conference, and we got a lot of support over this issue. And we pointed out to the government that they weren't complying to their own accounting standards. And that's why this process has begun and ended up with the assets being where they should be, rather than on council's books. And I'd just like to acknowledge publicly the work of Director Belind in that process.
Congratulations. Yeah, well done.
Right, I think,
Sorry.
yes, Councillor Minogue. I'll leave that.
It needs to be moved and
Yeah,
seconded.
in a mover to endorse the recommendation that council endorse the committee meeting minutes as presented. Councillor Minogue, seconded Councillor Crowe. All those in favour? Oh, Councillor Minogue? Yeah.
I've got some questions.
Oh, you got some questions, right?
So if we refer to page 107, maybe directed to the general manager because you're at the meeting.
Yep.
What priorities did we submit to the advocacy plan?
Would you like me to answer that
Yeah, yeah.
first off?
Yeah, and then I've got a couple of other questions too.
This is a while ago we did that. From what I can recall, the priorities that I put up were financial sustainability, which is consistent across all councils. No, it's not in there, Mr. Mayor. Housing, which is obviously an issue in the regions. Roads infrastructure is one that just runs across all councils. I think that was it. I can certainly provide the document that REROC has generated on what its priorities are that it will push to state government for the state election. So they have prepared a document, and I can certainly share that with everybody.
Good, that'll show all the priorities.
Yep.
Yes,
And there are a number.
Yes, Councillor Minogue.
Yep. So two further questions, both on page 113. The first about a part-time local connector. Are we lobbying to host this position? And then on the visa workforce opportunities, are we engaging with the RDA Riverina to utilise this agency to potentially fill any vacancies.
Through you, Mr. Mayor, with regards to the local connector for what's called the Welcome Experience, which is a project that the RDA has taken on behalf of each of the regions. The local connector, we've actually worked with RDA Riverina, and the local connector is actually our visitor and tourism officer. She's actually taken that on as a secondary role. So we have that direct connection, and she will be looking after both Shire, Temora, and Cootamundra Gundagai. So she spends a day a week. It's been we've made arrangements with her, and it doesn't cost us anything. She will travel as needed. They provide her with the ability to travel and so forth to those other council areas to do that. But obviously her primary focus is going to be to Bland. Yes. And that was an important thing for her. And with regards to the visa matter, that is also an RDA project, and we do have a copy of the list table, if you like, of each of those people. Our HR officer is aware of them. We've shared that with the directors and so forth, so that they're aware if there's somebody that might fit the bill of a vacancy we might have.
Fantastic. Thank you.
Great. Are there any further questions,
Yeah,
Councillor?
just one through you, Mr. Mayor. I just note that yourself and Temora's Mayor, Rick Fernal, my apologies for the last meeting. I do know that the Deputy Mayor from Temora attended in the Mayor's place. I'm just wondering if we should have council representation at these meetings.
We can.
Should you not be able to attend?
Yeah, we can. We can. Yeah,
Second that.
we can. We can do that.
Thought I'd raise that one.
Would you like the deputy mayor? Would you like another councillor, or who would you, if I can't attend?
I would, obviously, the first choice would be Deputy Mayor. I'm just wondering whether we should have representation from the council body. Yeah, apart from the general manager. I would agree. Yeah,
Very good. Very good.
it's something I noticed. But
We'll do that. If there's no further business this evening, I'll need a mover to close the meeting. Councillor.
So you've got number 8. You've got
8.1.
808.
Wait. Notice it's the questions that we haven't got any, have we?
Sorry, Mr. Mayor, there are questions with
Some moves them
my
up.
apologies.
Okay.
Yes, so if you continue.
Recommendation.
Oh, okay. Right.
Yep.
Okay. The general manager informed me that we didn't have any, but
Yeah, my apologies.
okay. So 8.1 questions with notices. Recognising that council notes the question with notice received and responses provided. So, are there any points of clarification you'd like regarding those?
Yeah, I'd like a clarification on seek an update from Western Wheelers regarding planned event numbers and event scales. The facility isn't open, so I think that would be rather hard to find out. And I cannot remember councillors ever. Sporting clubs are pretty autonomous. I don't know if we've ever. I might have all of this wrong. So would we be able to get an explanation? Yeah, I know it hasn't got it yet.
So, through Mr. Mayor.
Yes. Councillor.
I just believe that that is probably worded a little bit incorrectly. What I did bring up at last month's meeting is that I was after clarification, after the biodiversity change that we had to make. We obviously didn't want to pay that $7 million, so we decided to move to that secondary runway. I believe that may have had impacts on the scale of event that Western Wheelers were able to deliver. So my question really wasn't to seek an update from Western Wheelers. It was that council contact Western Wheelers to see where they're up to and whether there needs to be amendments to our plan of that project. to align with them, or if we can't align with them, then do we need to have another look at the full scale of that? If there are elements of the project that we don't have to deliver now because they can't deliver their event, maybe we can save some money somewhere along the line, was what I was getting at. I just don't think that wording probably is reflective of what I was after. Yeah.
Through Mr. Mayor, if I can just clarify with Councillor Brooks, you are looking at the second table where there is a response provided to the question.
Yes, but what I would like is for them to come back to us as councillors, so we know where this project is up to, and if there is anything we can do to amend the full project. If we're getting this second runway, for example, to come up to a spec that is needed for an event that cannot happen now, can we save money and amend the project?
Through you, Mr. Mayor, my understanding, we've been told the whole way through how this is going. Now, the specifications were given to the council by the Western Wheelers when we initiated this project a number of years ago when the funding came in. At no stage have they been altered. We haven't heard about any alteration, so I don't see the point of it. I know there are things, if it had been in the other location, which was going to cost a huge amount of money, it would have had permanent fixtures. This will probably be a little more inconvenient because they've got to put up safety guards, I guess, at each meeting. They've got to put up portable viewing platforms, whatever. But the actual event specifications wouldn't have altered one little bit since it started. That was given with the council, 7 or 8 years ago? 6 years ago. We have never been informed that has changed, and I can't see why we're bringing this up. Are there any changes? I don't believe there are.
Yeah, through you, Mayor. I'm not all over it, but I understood that there's no change to how they run their events. As Councillor Lynn pointed out, it will be a little bit more inconvenient because we've got to move everything in and move everything out. As far as the event and how it runs, I don't believe there's any change. But I'm happy to take it on notice and confirm any questions you might have and get back to you on it.
Yeah, if someone has spoken to Western Wheelers and confirmed that it's all okay by them, that's wonderful. But if I'm just worried that they may not be able to deliver it, that's my concern. And I'm just not sure if council has contacted them since we've had to move to that second runway.
Yes, sir.
So Western Wheelers have confirmed that that's all okay. That they can still deliver that full program, and without understanding what their event is. But there were some that are not registered cars or something and come in by trailer. That's about the extent of my knowledge. That's just my concern. If it's been done, that's great, but I just want to confirm that.
Yeah, through you, Mr. Mayor. No, not all over. I think the council side of it is fine, but I'm not all over the logistics of the event and the day, and I'm not sure what the resources the Western Wheelers have got. But I do know the council's been in constant contact and having meetings with them. But if I can take it on notice and get back to you on it, so that we're not.
We might note also here that none of council hasn't contributed any money to this. The only monies that have been expended are grant money.
Yeah.
So far.
Correct.
That's fine. Yeah.
And the work that's been done in this area is the upgrades that have been done yet, but you have to confirm this, Paul, but the upgrades that have been done have other purposes as well besides the use for.
Yeah, that's correct. It should, it's all towards making the economy better. It's making it easier for traffic to come in and out.
Yeah.
So that's just an added benefit.
Yep.
Are there any other questions regarding questions and notice of motion without?
That's the first one. The second one.
Yeah. Councillor Crowe, so
I'm happy with the answer. I got it when I raised it. Yeah.
Okay, very good. Okay, so
You're gonna.
Are there any further questions, councillors, regarding this? If there are none, I need to move it to close the meeting. Sorry.
Can we get we actually need to move her in a second.
Oh, did we get to move, we're going to move for these reports?
Yeah.
Need to move in a second, those. Councillor Purnell, Councillor Brooks, all those in favour? Declare that carried. Now I'm going to move it to close the meeting. Councillor Lloyd, Councillor Brooks, all those in favour? Aye. I declare the meeting closed.
Yeah,
We're done.
plodding in, coming home one night,
Yeah.
sitting on the 110 speed limit. Video while I was driving, I shouldn't have done, but
So we didn't.
Fine.
I didn't have when I was with
We've got a